YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage back, and I am coming to you from the newly remodeled Salty Studio of Carthage. Yeah, I had to get the flooring changed in my house. We had a whole bunch of really old carpet that had to go. We had to unload everything out of the house into the garage, have the crew come in. They worked on it all weekend long, and then some. They did a great job, got it all done, but then I had the joy of moving everything back into the house while also going back to work. So it was very busy, but I'm back. And I got a new studio. It might be a little echoey. I hope not. I got my foam up, but I've yet to finish putting all the other decorations out that kind of help drop the echo because I went from carpet to hard floor, so I have to do a little more sound dampening than I did in the past. So if it sounds a little different, that's probably why. Now, you all may recognize I am back with another mod highlight here. And this is a good one. I had already done a part 1 to this, and now we're going to cover part 2. First off, let me go back, and I'll show you the mod again, just so everybody knows it, in case they missed part 1, and then I'll show you the units that we didn't cover in part 1. Alright, so the mod that I am showcasing is, of course, GMD Jade Legion, and the Western Provinces support has been added. So this one is done by Dilaguna. It's an excellent mod. It adds a lot of new units. Last time we checked out a bunch of those. I will make sure to link to this mod and also to the last video down in the description. So if you're missing either one, make sure and go check it out. But many of you did want to see the second part of this pack, so I am filming that today. Let's go check it out. Thanks again to Dilaguna for making such an awesome mod. Alright, back over in the game, let me show you the units we're going to have. I am once again going to be having the Grand Master on the battlefield. He's not a whole lot to show off in terms of just insane prowess or abilities. It's kind of just more of a standard lord that's been added. He was in the last video, but I have to have a lord, so I picked it. So what we're going to be showing off today, and let me get these in the order that I want them in. We're going to have the Fire Lions, which is the Regiment of Renown version of the Jade Lions that we saw in the last video. So this is a specialty version. They look like they have a pretty nice attack against large and armor. They are 4 entities strong. They're going to have very high armor themselves, like most of these Jade units do. Next, we're going to be testing out the artillery versions of the Jade Lions as well that we didn't get to last time. We're going to start off with the Jade Lion Bolt Thrower. This is an anti-infantry ranged attack combined with an anti-large melee attack. Now the melee attack is not particularly high for these artillery units, and that's good. That's to balance them in so that they're decent in melee, but not amazing, because they're really meant to be used as ranged units. Now we got Jade Lion Mortars, which again is a nice ranged unit that's going to do good damage against tightly packed targets. It's not specifically anti-large, anti-infantry, or even anti-armor, but it's going to do decent against packed targets like archers and other things of the sort. Then we're going to have the Jade Lion with Cannon, which does pack an armor-piercing punch and a very nice range at 400. And of course, all of these are going to be speed 60, which is pretty solid mobility for any artillery unit, albeit it's not super fast where you're going to be like outrunning cavalry or anything. We're going to check out all 3 artillery variants. We're also going to be looking at the huge Jade Lion, which we did not look at last time. This is a single entity monster. It is good against armored large targets. It's going to be a very fun creature to see. I'm curious to see its animations and how all those play out. And then we're going to also be looking at Baofeng Long, which is a Regiment of Renown version of the huge Jade Lion. This one has some interesting abilities, so we're going to pick up an ability called Obsidian Skin. And the Obsidian Skin is basically this right here. It's a passive augment. It's going to make him more powerful when he's in melee. Pretty neat stuff. And then Jade Nature is there on both units, but essentially if you're sitting still, it increases mass and damage resistance. So I think it helps to play to that kind of defensive nature of Cathay, that if you need to stand still or take a charge, for instance, from something like a flying unit where you can't charge back, if you sit still, gives you a little bit of resistance. Anyway, let's go check these units out on the battlefield. Alright folks, let's get the tour of the new units started. I'm going to start here on this end of my army, which is our Jade Lions with cannons. These guys are looking pretty cool. They look a lot like the Jade Lions, obviously, from the last time that we saw it, but of course they have a cannon strapped to their back, which is appropriate. Most things in life, folks, just take this bit of advice from Old Man Air, okay? Many things in life are made better when it involves strapping a cannon to its back. That's your car, that's yourself, dog, your children, whatever. You know, everything's better with a cannon strapped to your back. So just remember that. Good life advice from Air. This is going to be our Regiment of Renown Jade Lions. This is our Fire Lions. So I'll let you all see their name there. Basically turned them red, which does look pretty cool, to be honest. I really do like the kind of statuesque look of these units that were added. It's pretty simple, yet pretty unique and really cool looking units. And of course, I don't have any standard Cathay units here to intermix with these, but I imagine them mixing in very well with the Combined Arms Army and looking very nice. Here we're going to have the bolt throwers. You can see the massive bolts they have loaded on top of them. And bolt throwers are going to be anti-infantry from range, and they have a slight bonus versus large in melee. But essentially the same as the cannons, you're just going to have an artillery piece strapped up on their back. And then we're going to have the huge Jade Lion here. See its stats here is going to be a very powerful single entity monster. Going to have some cool abilities that you'll see. And then we've got the mortar variant of the Jade Lions. And then finally, Baofeng Long. Very cool looking unit model here. Really like the extra horns and stuff they put on and the color scheme. This is a very interesting color scheme, like that dark purple. Some of the other hints, bright colors there, and the fur on the back. Very cool looking unit model. So let's check these things out in action. I've got some troops for Khorne arrayed out opposite of us, just so you all can see. Some people being punished, nothing against Khorne, it's just business. And since Khorne appreciates blood for the blood god and skulls for the skull throne, regardless of who they come from, I figured that they wouldn't mind standing in as sacrifice for us to test out our new units. Let's check out the range damage from those bolts there, and then here comes a shot from the mortars. So getting some really cool ranged effects. Definitely liking that. Let's check out the cannon variant. Should be firing as well. Comes more mortar rounds. Oh yeah. So the Jade Lion artillery is looking cool. They are pretty effective. I mean, they're not absolutely insane, but they're pretty awesome. Let's check this out too. Have some skull crushers here. I'm gonna take Baofeng Long and intercept them. This should be where he is at his best. They got the laser eyes, which is always a nice touch. That comes from the Hyro Titan, and I love it. I've always liked the laser eyes. I think both the standard lion, huge lion, and Baofeng Long both have laser eyes. I could be wrong. Yep, there they are. More laser eyes. Gotta love it. And then I've got the fire lions over here too. Very similar to the others. They get in melee though. They're blowing fire everywhere. Looks very nice. These are some very cool units. Should add a lot of flavor to any Cathay campaign and make for some really creative combined arms armies. And to me, I think that's where the fun really comes into play, which is where these get mixed in, and you got Jade Warriors with them, crossbows, you know, the Storm Dragon, halberds protecting. Like, you're going to come in and you're going to get some epic Cathay battle action for taking down demons. This makes me excited too, although we probably won't get it until like the year 3000 based on CA's current trajectory of the timeline. But I imagine that if CA sticks to it, we should see some cool units like this come from them eventually too. But thank goodness for modding, so we don't have to wait until the far distant future in order to get new content for Warhammer 3. Yes, I'm being a little bit sarcastic, but also a little bit truthful. Because, yes, I still hate the timeline, even though I'm not making negative videos about it over and over again. But yeah, there we go. So a cool mod, GMD Jade Legion by dilaguna. Make sure you check this one out. I do believe you're going to enjoy it. I know I have. And in fact, I may use this one whenever I do get around to a Cathay campaign. I still want to do the co-op campaign with Mrs. Air, and we may throw that mod in there. Anyway, check out the description if you want to get links to it and to the previous video. Thank you for watching today. I'll be back with more content soon. Sorry it was a bit of a drought, but my office was torn apart, being remodeled. I feel like that's a fair excuse, but now I'm back to work. See you soon. HeirofCarthage, signing out.